Have you ever tried to run an online business, something you're really passionate about, only to get shut down by your payment processor? Your account gets frozen, funds are held, or they just flat out say nope. It's a huge headache. Well, today we're going to dig into a source that claims it has the answer to this exact problem, especially for those businesses that traditional finance just doesn't want to touch. So let's just ask it straight up. Is your online business considered high risk? I mean, if you're in something like IPTV or you're selling digital goods, chances are you've smacked right into a brick wall with the usual big-name payment companies. And it's not just annoying, right? It can literally stop a great business idea before it even gets a chance to start. But what does high risk really even mean? Well, when you boil it down, it's just any business that banks think has a higher chance of things like chargebacks or fraud. But that label, it's not just a category. For so many entrepreneurs, it's a closed door, making it feel almost impossible to find a stable, reliable way to just, get paid by your customers. Okay, so the material we're diving into today doesn't just sit around and complain about the problem. Nope. It actually puts a specific tool on the table, a tool designed to build a bridge over that gap. We're going to walk through exactly what it claims to do and see how it plans to solve this massive challenge. And here it is. The source calls it WooPay. Now, that's a mouthful, so let's break it down. It's a plugin for WooCommerce, which, if you don't know, is a huge e-commerce platform that runs on WordPress websites. Its whole job is to let these so-called high-risk businesses take payments from pretty much anywhere, using credit cards, Google Pay, Apple Pay, the works. But here's the twist. Instead of waiting around for a bank transfer, it says payouts happen instantly in something called USDC, which is a crypto stablecoin tied to the US dollar. So what's the big deal? According to the source material, what makes this thing a potential game changer? Well, it really comes down to a few key promises that seem to tackle the biggest pain points for these kinds of merchants head on. The source lays out 6 big advantages. First up, those instant payouts with USDC. That means no more checking your bank account, waiting for the money to clear. Second and third, and these are huge, it claims you don't need a registered LLC and you don't have to do a KYC identity check. That just lowers the barrier to entry completely. Fourth, an easy installation, supposedly just a minute. Fifth, it's not just okay with high-risk businesses, it's made for them. And last but definitely not least, and you gotta hear this, it claims to have a zero chargeback guarantee. Okay, that is a very bold list of promises. Let's be real, some of that sounds almost too good to be true, right? So let's zoom in and really dissect a few of these claims, because if they actually work as described, this would be a massive shift from the way things are normally done. This chart really lays it all out. It's like night and day. On one side, you've got the old school way. Payouts take forever, and you're buried in paperwork for your LLC and KYC verification. Then you look at what WinkPay is claiming on the other side. Instant crypto payouts, no bureaucratic hoops to jump through, and a system that actually welcomes the very businesses everyone else turns away. It's a totally different philosophy. Let's talk about this no KYC thing for a second. KYC stands for Know Your Customer, and it's that identity check that's basically standard everywhere in finance to prevent bad stuff like fraud. By claiming to remove that step, this tool is positioning itself as an option for people who value their privacy, or maybe for folks who just can't get through the traditional financial red tape. It's a really big departure from the norm. All right, now for what is probably the most powerful claim of all, the zero chargeback guarantee. See, chargebacks, that's when a customer disputes a payment and the bank just yanks the money back, are the #1 reason businesses get slapped with that high-risk label. They kill your revenue and can even get you blacklisted. So a guarantee against them, the source is presenting that as a silver bullet for an existential threat. And just so you can get a feel for the tone of the source material, it literally says this, with a ton of excitement. The solution final for IPTV payment gateway. Don't lose your time. You can tell it's really trying to speak directly to a very specific audience, like the IPTV industry, and solve their biggest problem. Okay, let's pull all this together. What have we learned from the source material? We're looking at a payment tool designed specifically for high-risk sellers using WordPress. It's proposing a whole new model that basically sidesteps the old banking rules, using instant crypto payouts, getting rid of registration and KYC hurdles, and, most boldly, offering a guarantee against the nightmare of chargebacks. And all of this really leads us to a much, much bigger question, doesn't it? Are these kinds of tools, the ones using crypto and ditching the old school verification processes, are they the future for all these online industries that just don't fit into the neat little boxes of traditional finance? It's a fascinating development,
and it could totally reshape the world for thousands of entrepreneurs. That's a trend worth watching.